He just unveiled something big for the US market, and it might shake things up more than people expect. Meet the Kia EV3. Up to 320 miles of range, as much as 288 horsepower, available all-wheel drive, and a starting price expected around $35,000. That's the kind of spec sheet that makes people stop and pay attention, especially in a market that still believes affordable EVs don't really exist. This is the same car that has already been beating expectations across Europe for the past 2 years. Now it's entering a much tougher, more skeptical market. So the real question is, does this change the game or just join it? Right away, the design makes its intentions clear. The EV3 looks like a smaller version of the Kia EV9, and Kia isn't hiding that. You get those signature star map LED daytime running lights at the front and rear, giving it a futuristic identity. Clean lines, flush door handles, short overhangs, and a drag coefficient of 0.275. Everything here is designed for efficiency without losing presence. Even on the base trim, you get 17-inch wheels, while higher trims step up to 19-inch alloys. There's also a US-exclusive Nightfall package, adding gloss black wheels and blacked-out badges for a more aggressive look. At 169 inches long, it shares a similar footprint with cars like the Bolt, but visually it feels like a class above. Now step inside, and things get interesting. The interior clearly borrows from the EV9, but at nearly half the cost. You're looking at almost 30 inches of total screen space, combining dual 12.3-inch displays with a 5-inch climate panel in between. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and over-the-air updates all come standard. And yes, while parked, you can even stream Netflix or YouTube. Add ambient lighting into the mix, and suddenly this doesn't feel like an entry-level EV at all. The front cabin is built around openness. There's no traditional transmission tunnel, so you get a flat floor, flexible storage, and even retractable cup holders. Heated and ventilated seats are available, while dual-zone climate control comes standard. The GT trim takes things further, with sport bucket seats and bold neon green stitching. It feels intentional, not cheap. But where small SUVs usually struggle is the back seat. And this is where the EV3 flips expectations. Rear seats recline up to 39 degrees, something competitors like the Bolt and Leaf simply don't offer. Rear air vents are standard, and thanks to the flat floor, space is actually usable, even with multiple passengers or a child seat setup. This isn't just a back seat that exists, it's one people will actually want to sit in. Storage is solid too. You get about 739 liters of cargo space behind the rear seats, expanding to around 1,600 liters with the seats folded. There's a smart 2-level floor for extra storage, and even a small front trunk, just enough for cables and small items. Now let's talk performance. The EV3 runs on Kia's 400-volt platform and offers 2 battery options. The smaller 58.3 kilowatt-hour battery delivers around 220 miles of range. Step up to the larger 81.4 kilowatt-hour pack, and you get up to 320 miles in front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive models produce about 261 horsepower, while the GT version pushes it up to 288 horsepower with a sport-tuned setup and even a virtual gear shift feature. Charging is quick enough for daily life. Going from 10 to 80% takes around 29 to 31 minutes, depending on the battery. In simple terms, that's a short coffee break, adding roughly 200 miles of range. You also get vehicle-to-load as standard, meaning you can power devices directly from the car, and with the right setup, vehicle-to-home capability is available too. So where does this leave the EV3? It sits in a very interesting position. Cheaper EVs like the Bolt exist, but they don't offer all-wheel drive or this level of tech. Others, like the Leaf, are affordable, but feel outdated inside. The EV3 somehow sits between them and above them at the same time. But it all comes down to one thing: pricing. If Kia gets that right, this could seriously reset expectations for what an affordable EV should be. If not, it's just another option in a growing market. We'll find out by late 2026. Until then, the conversation just got a lot more interesting.